cluster jewels and how to find them. Hi, Zizaran here with another video for 3.15 Expedition League, and this is going to be a quick tips and tricks on how to find and farm cluster jewels. So obviously this is especially intended for solo self-found, because if you want to farm them on Trade League, open up the trade site, buy them off someone. That's generally the easiest way. Getting one specific cluster jewel can be really hard, and something I'm actually struggling with on solo self-found, because it's just pure RNG and there are a lot of them. But let's look at some quick tips and tricks for how you can get the best chances of getting the one you want. If you're going through a simple delirium mirror, like you can get a higher chance of delirium mirrors here, then that's really good in itself, because every 4 rewards that you get on the delirium mirror, for example, say you have one that says 4 and one that says 1, then you have a 100% chance of getting 1 cluster jewel and a 25% chance of getting 2. So if you're able to get a really, really high number, say you have a really juiced up map, you're going to get more cluster jewels. And also, those small white cocoon things in delirium maps that spawn delirium monsters, well, those monsters are the ones that can naturally drop a cluster jewel as well. Item level can be very important on cluster jewels as well, so important to remember. It can be very hard to get item level 84 cluster jewels, and generally the best place to get those are logbooks. And if you're wondering why item level 84, that is when you can get 35% increased effect. But there are other things we can do as well to get cluster jewels, and namely heist. Everybody's favorite content. I've never met somebody that doesn't like heist. And it's very important to know that on demolition, you get metamorph rewards, gem maybe? I can't remember. But more importantly, you get delirium. So you can get both the orbs, you can get maps that have delirium orbs on the map, and you can get cluster jewels. And running the maps that have delirium orbs into them, you can get cluster jewels from those, but they don't drop as a guarantee every time the rewards hit a certain threshold. However, in these maps, you just focus on killing the monsters and you will hopefully get at least 1 cluster jewel per map. Now, there is a especially good solo self-found trick, and that is, again, with heist. Now, you'll get loads of these quest things, and I would recommend doing all of them. However, when you get grocery list, you might notice this is demolition. And there's a little clever use of game mechanics we can do here, where if you don't finish this, you're going to get it back. So at some point, when you've exhausted all the quest options, every time you click the heist box, you'll get your normal contract and grocery list. So that means that every time you get a demolition mission. Now, this isn't super great on Trade League, but for solo self-found, where we can struggle on getting cluster jewels, it's really, really good. So just to explain how this works, you get grocery list and you go to the Rogue Harbor. I mean, I might as well do it while talking because, well, I need it and I might as well show people. Now, the important thing here, it doesn't actually always give you cluster jewels. Sometimes there will be other things like metamorph, but we can look here now. Question mark and a delirium. Now, I don't really care much for the small boxes at the moment. I'm only here actually for the cluster jewel, but actually we're not even going to complete this one. So what we do is we run to the end first. We can open that door anyway. That's actually pretty nice because we're going to be opening things on the way out. We're never going to be touching this quest reward thing at the end. We have no interest in that because we don't want to finish this mission. So if you do finish this, you're screwed for this trick. Your account is basically bricked for the rest of the league. And if you've already done it, I'm sorry. I don't think there is another demolition mission. I was looking for one because I thought I had done this because I didn't get it for ages. So now we're going to open this and we're going to hope for a medium cluster that says totem stuff on it. I've been very, very unlucky on this so far. And there's a small and some malachrum splinters. So nothing really interesting here. And now on the way out, I can just open boxes and lie, apparently. And that's pretty much the trick. If you do accidentally, say that you forget. You're like, oh no, I clicked the reward chest. That's fine. Just throw the reward on the ground. Even if you go all the way out, just don't turn in the reward and you're fine. I've accidentally clicked the one at the end several times. Is no bothers, brothers. Just literally just don't hand in the quest. I mean, throw the quest reward thingy on the ground before handing it in. And as long as you don't hand in, then you are fine. And it's really nice because you don't have to bother with doors on the way out when you're not, like, look, not even fully popped yet. So that is a great trick for soul self-found. Just a little extra thing we can do. Not something I super recommend in Trade League. Obviously, you do get some small stuff and you can get other stuff, but this is mostly just to get cluster jewels. There is another thing we can do as well. So you can sell 5. Let's say that I had 5 cluster jewels that I was willing to sell to the vendor. As long as they're all the same rarity, not white, so either 5 blue or 5 yellow, you can sell them all to the vendor for a random one. These will randomize between 4 and 6 sockets and randomize the thing, and it'll be the lowest item level. So if you sell 4 84s and 1 68, it will be item level 68. So that is pretty much all the tips and tricks I can think of for getting cluster jewels. Obviously, buying them is really, really good. And there are delirium nodes, 3 additional reward types. In these, you should get pretty decent amount of cluster jewels as well. But I don't run much Lexi or maps. But either way, I hope these tips and tricks help you. Good luck in 3.15. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.